Hello, in this session we are going to cover the process of managing software testing reviews. As you know from our prior lecture, software testing reviews are key for a test manager, but knowing the art of managing test reviews is the secret of reducing the cost of quality. Knowing how to manage informal and formal testing reviews helps the test manager regardless of type of project or product. Let's start from the beginning. The software testing review strategy must be coordinated with the test policy and the overall test strategy. Don't do this without doing that. Reviews should be planned to take place at natural breakpoints or milestones like after requirement or after specification design as part of the verification process, for example, before, during, and after test execution. The second thing that we need to pay attention to is the planning. But prior to any planning, we must know what should be reviewed, who should be involved, and which risk factors do we want to cover by performing the reviews. As a test manager, you may also be the review leader. But even when you are not, it is important to know that the review leader should identify the items to be reviewed, select the appropriate review type and level of formality, identify a budget, time, and resources for the review, create a business case, and include risk evaluation and return on investment calculations. Why do we need to do that? Simple. We need to identify the optimal time to perform reviews. This will depend on things such as the availability of the items to be reviewed, the availability of the right personnel, time when the final version of the item is ready for review, time required for the actual review, and we do this in order to conduct efficient and effective reviews, but also to reach consensus regarding design feedback. Moving towards, I would like to remind you that there are a lot of project reviews which are frequently held for system or subsystem readiness. Based on the project complexity and product risks, we should adjust the number of reviews, their type, but also how we organize them. When we are talking about organization, we are also referring to the people involved in the review. This is why the participants in a review must have the appropriate level of knowledge, both technical and procedure-wise, be thorough and pay attention to details, have clarity and to be able to use correct prioritization, and they need to understand their roles and responsibilities within the review process, not only within the organization. After going through all that, we are now ready to proceed with the review planning. This is where we have to address the risks associated with technical factors, organizational factors and people issues, the availability of reviewers with sufficient technical knowledge. We need to ensure that each team is committed to the success of the review. We need again to ensure that each organization is allocating sufficient time for required reviewers to prepare. Time allocation for the required technical or process training for the reviewers is allocated, and backup reviewers should be identified in case key reviewers cannot attend. Once planning is done, we now move to review execution. This is where the review leader has to ensure adequate measurements are provided by the participants in the reviews in order to allow evaluation of the review efficiency, use checklists and maintain them in order to improve future reviews, and ensure that the team uses defect severity and priority as they are defined for use in the defect management procedure for issues found during the reviews. After all this, when the review has finished, the review leader should always collect the review metrics and ensure that the issues identified are sufficiently resolved to meet the specific test objectives for the review. Use the review metrics as input when determining the return on investment for reviews and provide feedback information to the relevant stakeholders in order to be able to finish what was started. Why do we do all this? Well, a software testing review effectiveness is evaluated by comparing results from the review with the actual results found in subsequent testing. This is why we need to monitor and track what we do here so that we know the value that was added by the review and can work on improving the overall process. All fine and dandy, right? Let's discuss now about a case where a work product is reviewed, but later found effective. This is when the review leader should consider ways in which the review process might have allowed the defects to escape. Some likely causes could be problems with the review process like poor entry or poor exit criteria, improper composition of the review team, inadequate review tools. For example, we use the wrong checklists, insufficient reviewer training and insufficient reviewer experience, or too little preparation and review meeting time. These are not the only cases, but can sum up a lot of them. On top of this, it is possible that reviews lose their effectiveness over time, and this can be noticed in project retrospectives. In such cases, the review leader should investigate the cause. The only way we can assess all these items is by using proper metrics for the review process. We should not use these metrics to punish or reward individuals, but we need to use them to actually focus on the review process. I hope you like this session on managing testing reviews. Stay tuned for our next video about defect management process, or check out our test management ebook linked in the description below.